Hello and welcome to the Leo full moon activation. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, this Leo full moon is quite a culmination of the last few years of astrology, and we've been stretched and asked to dissolve, break down, face the truth of ourselves, our life, and where we're really at, and to find a way to make our lives more in alignment with what really matters to us. And this is the theme of Leo. Leo wants to express. Leo wants to is ruled by the sun, and so it's about creative expression. It's about being the what you really want, what you really care about, the truth of you, and the striving to find that. And of course, that is very much the energy of Uranus there in Aries, in this square of Uranus and Pluto that's been happening over the last 3 years. And this is the very last month of these planets. They're not in an exact square, they're 1 degree apart, but this is the last time that these planets will be in this square. And that happens about the next transit of these planets, the next square is about 80 years. So we are really at this massive turning point. Pluto and Uranus are both generational planets. They're planets of change, disillusion, revolution. And so when they come together in formation, it means massive changes. But when they came together in the 60s as a conjunction, we didn't start to see those changes, those social changes, until after the planets came out of the conjunction, the next 2 years that followed. And so we're really starting into this era where we're going to start to see these outward changes so much. And so we're having a huge qualification about what all this means, because Mercury is in retrograde, about to turn direct in 2 days. Now, the 3 days right around where planets turn retrograde or direct is when we really feel that energy shifting. And so we're already feeling Mercury ready to turn direct, and but it's right there near Pluto. So with a retrograde, it's allowed Mercury to come up with a conjunction with Pluto 3 times. And so what happens this whole last part of February, Mercury's basically hanging out very close to Pluto, triggering the square. Now, Mercury's the messenger. Mercury is our understanding. It is the part of us that wants to realize and understand the truth, to analyze. And so this is really powerful energy, because we are finding out the information we need about what the Pluto-Uranus square is going to mean for the next 2 years of our life. And we're literally getting a glimpse into this. So tonight, the activation is going to be focusing on that, a look into the future and aligning with what our true heart really wants in the true Leo nature. But we might not know exactly what that is. And that's part of the energy of this time. Now, Pluto and Mercury together is really powerful energy around a complete change in what you thought was true, a complete change, dissolution, breakdown. Pluto's the destroyer, and Mercury is our thoughts and beliefs, and our day-to-day kind of reality. So as a personal planet with a shorter cycle, Mercury takes about a year with 3 retrograde cycles to get around the zodiac. And so Pluto, on the other hand, is a very slow-moving planet. And so these coming together is talking about the inner relationship between our daily lives and what we think and know to be true, and the bigger picture of these massive generational changes that are going on, and the deep inner work that we have been called to do for the last 3 years, but now we're starting to understand it a little bit more. But the interesting thing is that sometimes the more you know you don't know. And so this Mercury retrograde is a time to, this whole year of 2016 is basically about put what you believe to be true. Just go ahead and find something that you absolutely have a stalwart belief about and just turn it on its head, and go ahead and entertain or imagine for a moment what life would be like to see it from that perspective. And what a great year as an election year to do that, as we our whole world is being turned on its head. As every day, if you're paying attention to the news right now, there's disclosure happening about what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a little bit more coming out every day. And this year, 2016, is indeed about finding the truth of the reality. What is truth? What is reality? What's delusion? What's illusion? And so Mercury is trying to find that out, hanging out there with Pluto, because basically one of the major aspects of 2016 is this Saturn square Neptune, and the Saturn being our reality planet, Neptune the dreams and delusions, and then with this massive energy of Pluto being so triggered here in Capricorn, the changes we're being asked to make in our belief system and our understanding have to do with the authoritarian structures, the structures in general in our life of our reality, what we think is real and true. And you guys, we've been programmed. We've had, it's been a few decades now that we've all had TVs in our house, and this has literally programmed us into a reality that is very far away from the actual truth, and our whole society is based on this. And so this is starting to fall away. And so what the powerful energy of this time, this whole year, but particularly right now in this spring too, with this powerful activation energy going on, is about allowing yourself to rearrange your life and your belief systems, allowing yourself to consider the absolute opposite, because our whole world has been placed on its head. And now we're going to flip again. It's almost like instead of a polar shift this time, in this shift of ages, because we've decided to do it consciously in a body, we have to flip our reality. You know, and so we're looking at what that means for our life, and we can get some hints and clues, just tapping into this fourth dimensional reality, tapping into the place that we're going and getting into alignment with that, even if we don't know what it is. But the key to everything right now is to stay flexible. And when Mercury is in a retrograde in an earth sign, that is indeed where all the challenges come. And Mercury in Capricorn here, and the sun was in Capricorn for January, so we had a whole bunch of this Capricorn energy triggering that Pluto, saying, yes, we need to face the truth and break down and dissolve these authoritarian structures within and without our lives that are no longer serving us. So what is going on in the stars right now as Mercury goes direct? It's about to run with this information. It's about to run with this new ideas, this new perception, this radical change that is available to us, that has to do with just watch the news every day, or the feeds, what's coming to you. A little bit is leaking out about extraterrestrial involvement in our evolution, about the truth of our ancient history. Little by little, there's the ancient structures that they're found not only all over on our planet, under the oceans, inside the earth, and on other planets, and on the Mars and Moon. These structures that have been built and by an ancient race, and that is related to our evolution, but all this information has been kept from us. And so little by little, this is coming out. But what does this mean in your individual life? Because like I said, Mercury wants it to be about our daily, everyday reality. And so what does that mean for a disclosure in your life? And what we have right now is the main energy that's going on that's really powerful around the future and the past. So we've got the North Node, and we've got Jupiter in Virgo. Now the North Node is where we're heading, how we get there, the direction we're going. And so in Virgo, it's about discrimination. It's about cleaning up. It's about facing that truth. It's about wanting to perfect the information we have, being ruled by Mercury there. And so basically, the place we're heading has to do with this energy of discrimination and knowing the truth, facing the truth, and cleaning up our act within our individual self, and then the global reality. And so we have all this energy towards, then Jupiter is our planet of expansion. And so Jupiter is the one that's looked to see where the growth of humanity is happening. And then the future karma of the North Node is where the karma we're working on and how we're getting there. So these two planets together in Virgo are saying something really powerful. powerful about the time that we're in. This whole year has this energy. Now, opposing, coming up in these next couple months, Jupiter's getting close to having an opposition with Chiron and Pisces. And so we're building up to this energy. It's that energy of connecting with the North Node, which is the future, and opposing the past, which is the Chiron and Pisces represent that, because Chiron is a wounded healer. And so they're right there with in Pisces is speaking to this age that we've come out of, the Piscean age, and the wounds of our past, our collective wounds of what humanity we fell asleep and allowed to happen in our name. We ourselves playing out horrible things to each other, lifetime after lifetime. And we're coming to a point in our conscious evolution where that just stuff is no longer possible. And as much as the conglomerate news wants to feed us energies of fear and feed us energies of doomsday, basically humanity is changing at a rapid rate. And what are these changes about? Sometimes in your life it just seems like things are falling apart, or things are changing so fast, you're being expected to grow, you're making one realization and then another realization that same day or within a few days, a massive change in what you believe. And so this is what's going on, but it's also about facing these. So basically it's like what's really happening in our evolution right now is that we're becoming more loving and less tolerant of violence. And even though that's what the media is showing us, it's not true. And so we're going to see the truth of this stuff start to all come out about how a lot of things have been staged on the planet in order to keep this fear vibration going, but we're not buying it anymore. And it's happening so fast that we can't even keep up with this fact. And so now in this next 2 years is when we're going to start to see the technology, the humanitarian projects, the people coming together to create massive change to take back our planet. And so it's really exciting. But when this starts to go on in your life, and like I said, on the daily life, what that looks like is kind of can be like, whoa, things are falling apart. It's not what I thought. The key right now in this year, the stars are telling us that the absolute key is to be flexible as much as possible with those belief systems, to kind of question everything and be open to expanded knowledge beyond what you thought was possible. This is really what we're being called to do. Now, the mutable signs, so a lot of the squares and the powerful energy of 2016 are happening in mutable signs, and mutable signs are the ones that happen when the seasons are changing. And so it's about one day this way, one day the next day. So that's exactly what we're talking about. But that is also the medicine for this time, is to be mutable, to be the reed that can bend in the wind and come back to its structure. So our structure is continually changing with this Pluto-Uranus square, so activating us in our new identity as our spiritual consciousness, this evolution where we're becoming more loving, we're becoming less tolerant of violence. The reason that's happening is because we are more and more feeling the collective consciousness. And so we can't allow it just can't go on the way it's gone on, with pockets of people executing things that aren't okay with the whole. And so it's just a massive shift, and that's towards this Aquarian age, this consciousness of the whole. Now, the Leo full moon is across from the sun that's just moved into Aquarius. So it's at the very beginning of Leo. It's at 4 degrees Leo. So this is really cementing in this. We have an opportunity. 4 is 4 walls, the structure. And so it's a structure of a new identity. Leo wants to be confident and it wants to shine. And we can take this energy of the heart and the open heart and the confidence and use it to look into that future. Use it to align to our most appropriate timeline. Get the information that we need in order to allow ourselves to be flexible and to get these changes moving in our life so we can have a more satisfying life. So what we're being called to do, and the Leo energy is really activating this, is to be on fire in our creative self. And so this Leo energy is really good to align with that. Yes, we're going to clean up the past. We're going to face this stuff that we've dug up in the last few years with a couple years with Saturn and Scorpio and the shadow. We're going to dig that stuff up, and we're going to get that Virgo energy of discrimination, and we're going to clean it out, and we're going to find out the truth, and we're going to learn to forgive, and we're going to see the bigger picture. And we're going to tap into this energy of bringing a life that is more satisfying to us, that has to do with this creative impulse. So the way we bring creative energy. So there's a lot of energy towards, and Leo is a great sign around manifesting, around tapping into what you really want, what we talked about, being in alignment with that. But it's interesting how the manifestation techniques and what we've kind of come to think of is like how we manifest and we visualize and we, the law of attraction, all that. But really, since we don't really know the plan, the ultimate plan that our higher self has in store for us, and that's a lot of why this is such an up and down time, that we need to be flexible and let things fall away and trust that the higher part of us is guiding us to where we need to be. And even if something feels like it's a horrible thing happening, being like, okay, this must be perfect. This must be my next step in my evolution. And even if you can't quite totally align with that, you can start to bring yourself in that vibration, then your life moves towards that place where everything is absolutely the perfect thing for you to get to the next place. And so that's very much the fourth dimensional reality we're moving into, where what you think you create immediately. And so we're starting to align into these energies and move into this interesting energy of synchronicity, and finding that alignment with your timeline, where things are just falling into place, and you found yourself really feeling like you're doing exactly where you need to be and doing what you need to be on the planet. And that is an amazing feeling. But guess what? It's not through necessarily visualization or knowing exactly what it looks like, because that's continually changing. It's through just letting the creative energy flow through you in the way it wants to flow through you. And so Leo full moon is a great time to make a new commitment to your creative activities, to how you want to shine on the earth, like the way you want to bring your gifts to the earth. And so we don't know exactly what that looks like, but we can also kind of ask for messages along our journey. And that's what we can do in the activation day today, and align with that energy of that most appropriate timeline, so that we can feel like we're stepping on that path where things are really working out, you know. And it's like what the last few years has been about for a lot of people with this Pluto Uranus square is that, oh yeah, I'm really on fire. I like been planning this for years, and I'm going to do this and this and this. And then it was just like, it's just shit blows up. And it's like, wait, this is really hard. And I don't know what's happening, but wait a minute. Now that I've gone through this, I realize that if I did go that way, I wouldn't necessarily be happy. That wasn't what I really wanted. And so now we are getting into alignment with that. And when we can get into alignment with that higher self, the higher consciousness part of ourselves that cannot quite embody in a body, but we can communicate with, that part, so that we can step on that next higher dimensional frequency appropriate timeline where things are falling into place and we feel like we're really doing what we're here to do. Now, we're not going to have this feeling coming for probably at the soonest would be like in the next 3 weeks, because we've got this Mercury going direct, and then it's a couple weeks until it comes out of its shadow, which is about February 15th. And so the middle of February is when we're going to start feeling that feeling of like, okay, I'm listening to the signs, I'm feeling this pull, I'm going to take a chance and follow this. I'm feeling direction, I'm feeling supported by the universe. That, and then the culmination period is really at the spring equinox. Spring equinox is really a shift where we can more confidently step forward into this new place. But today on this Leo full moon is a time where we can start to get in alignment with that, so that we can make the most of this next 2.5 months in order to move away all the old, be in this place of being flexible with the changes. Part of the energy of the last few years, and I think why it was so hard for people, is because we weren't used to that level of change. And so when that first started to happen for us, it kind of was like, whoa, and then you kind of recover from something, go through these cycles. And now the cycles are so close together that there's no recovery time, but in a way it's allowed, there's a big shift towards letting go. I'm seeing a lot of people who have been struggling, just kind of giving in to what the universe wants for them. And as far as that higher self, the part that's working in their life, and letting that happen more, and being more flexible with it, and being more comfortable in this shifting place, because the shifting isn't going to go away. And it's interesting because it's like kind of the way the Mayan calendar worked. There was this platform of pyramid events, astrological events. And so the closer it got into 2012, it was like these astrological events were happening, you know, instead of maybe once a year, twice a year, and then they were happening every few months, and then they were happening every few weeks, every few days. And so we're kind of in this place where moment to moment now, because we're writing our future as we're living now. This is the shift of what the 2012 really meant, is moving into these higher dimensional frequencies where we're more conscious of creating our own reality. And so that's happening so fast that it's like there's no recovery time, but at the same time, there's that great opportunity for surrender. And so if we're looking at this, Virgo, North Node in Jupiter, the future karma, we want to clean it up. We want to know the truth. We can't clean it up until we know the truth. And so this year is really about facing the truth, finding out what's been really going on. Oh, was 9/11 really a terrorist attack? Or was it nuclear bombs planted by our own secret government that has been in cohorts for the last 50 years with all the governments on the whole planet? And this is all shifting behind the scenes, but this information is dribbling out right now, and it's pretty fascinating if you really pay attention and look at the feeds and what's coming through, not on the mainstream news sources, but yet little by little these things are coming in and starting to come on the mainstream. NASA's been repeatedly releasing information about how much is really out there in space that hasn't been shared with us, and that's just going to be more and more. And so by paying attention to this, you can hold this in your consciousness and help the people around you adjust to these changes, because it is going to be quite a shock for a lot of people who haven't been awake to these changes on other levels. And nobody is getting away from this. If you're on the earth, you're shifting right now, because the energies that are happening, the messages from our sun, are just beyond what we can imagine. To the fact that lower density beings who are only 3D can no longer be comfortable in this reality. We are being forced to change. And so people that you wouldn't even think would ever have any spiritual thoughts, you know, all of a sudden can start kind of thinking in a different way. And then who are they going to talk to? You know, so it's kind of going from, like, if you're that person that you've kind of held your own kind of views, and maybe your family or the people around you didn't necessarily align, but it might just turn around where they're coming to find you for guidance and support through these times, because they're like, wait a minute, we are becoming aware of the energetic truth. So we've been living in this reality that's been painted for us on the TV, that the only thing that's real is what we can see, you know, and feel. And we know there's so much more out there. And so the energetic reality is going to be forced to be recognized just by our changes. We're going to start, people are just going to even start seeing things beyond the veil, having way more paranormal experiences. And so if you are a person that's comfortable with that, just know that even though you may have felt different or ostracized by society, now is the time where we really need you. We need you to hold that reality, feel okay with that reality, be able to explain that reality to the people around you. And because of this time of massive shifting, this time of 2016, of just dropping the veil of all the delusions and illusions. And so in our individual life, what does this mean? We're looking at where in our life we haven't been able to face the truth, maybe about our relationships, or maybe about what we thought was serving us or wasn't serving us, or what we really wanted, you know. So it's all up in the air. It's a big juggle right now, and we're waiting to see where the balls land, and we're going to have a little bit of a better idea around the spring equinox and thereon. But continuing in the summer, we have a Mars retrograde, and also we have that Saturn square Uranus of the breaking down the challenging of all belief systems. And so all of the astrology this year is really about being flexible to adjust to the changes of the Pluto Uranus square. And so here we are at this amazing Leo full moon, this energy that's just so potent to tap into the creative potential that's within us. And to be at this turning point of the last section of astrology and this new section of astrology, the cardinal crosses the Pluto-Uranus square and into the mutable crosses of being flexible, adjusting to the new reality, figuring out how to build something that we don't know what needs to support us. Now, part of the reason of not feeling like we know what we want to would support us is because it's energetic support we need. And so, like I said, we're just becoming more and more aware of these energies. And so in general in life, but definitely these next few weeks, gathering information, make sure to take time to meditate, to be in nature. The antidote to the programming of this world is to stop and get off of the rat race, turn your phone off, get away from technology and meditate. Receive the internet that wants to download from your highest guidance. And so this is tonight, the activation will be a great opportunity for that, keeping in mind these energies of this pull between the pain of the past, the stories of the past, and the fear-mongering energies of the news, of the news conglomerate, that wants us to stay in the pain of the past. So humans, we are creating this reality, but we're not necessarily in charge of our creation because we're being programmed. And so we have to go ahead and start creating what we really want. And we don't know what that is, but source energy knows what that is. Creation energy knows what that is. So the creative activation is the absolute key to our taking back our world, is letting the creative energy work through you. That can be in anything. It could be cooking a meal, it could be writing a book, it could be painting a painting, putting on a play. There's so many ways for this energy to flow through you. And but it's just, you can't do it while you're plugged into the matrix as far as the technological world. And so one of the most important things is to just go ahead and find that time to meditate, to be in nature, to create, to just quiet the mind of the monkey mind. It's not even a part of our body, really. That's the part that is programming and also running the program. But when we run the creation energy through us in whatever way that works for us today, so the way you manifest isn't through visualization so much as just being creative, just letting the creative energy flow, and then your life, this feeling, if you can kind of tap into this feeling that's this Leo full moon has for us, it's a great kind of shoot off into this new year, is this energy of like when you're really on fire with a project or something you're working on, you're thinking about that creative energy is flowing, you're using your intuition, figuring out, opening up to what the project wants to be on any level. And that is when you feel most alive. And you can think to those times, we've all had glimpses of this in our life, and then all the other problems fall away. And we're so much less apt to be affected by the energies around us, by the people, by other people's judgments or belief systems about anything. It's just like, no, I'm on fire here, and I'm thinking about that, and I'm not going to feed into the lower vibrational frequencies. I'm just not even resonating there. It's like I just don't even notice it anymore because I'm so here in this place of like really living. And so this is the energy that I think is just the magic of this Leo full moon, is through all this mutable changing and being flexible and just letting your world be turned upside down, making a commitment within yourself to that, serving you, serving the creative needs within you, and everything else falls away as far as the problems and issues. So this is the route to manifestation and a great heart-centered energy to tap into at this powerful Leo full moon. Now, the Aquarian energy is where the sun is, and that's about the collective whole. And the Leo is about the expression of the individuality. And so we are it's really kind of a cool thing. These Aquarian age is about harmonizing these two things and basically having that individual creative spark that is that creation energy that is in service to the whole. That is the dynamic, innovative technological ideas that are coming right now are about what is best for the whole of humanity. And that is as we see ourselves as one whole, and we are less and less tolerant of the violence and the discrimination and all that stuff that's just a story that's been told to us to keep us in this place. The media fueling that. This is who we are, humanity. We're bigots. We're this, we're that, you know. And it's just like, seeing yourself as a part of a whole, and we're all part of the same personality, which is basically just start to happen. You just can't condone that stuff. You can't allow it in your field, but you also have to understand that on some level you played a part in creating it, you know. And so it's just a weird place where we are like that Virgo energy of like, we got to look at the truth. We got to separate the chaff from the wheat and see the reality of the situation so that we can forgive and clean up the past and go forward in a new way. But this Leo energy of basically finding that inner spark, that inner unique individual expression that is for the great, and seeing that as your path to serve the world. When you're in that creation energy, you're a vortex of basically God on planet Earth. You're connecting Mother Earth with the source of creation. You're being a pillar of light when you allow the energy to work through you, and that is the future. Bringing in this Aquarian age, this is the key to moving into this new collective identity, is our own individual creative expression. So really cool energy there. And then taking into account that battle between the future and the past, and what does that mean in your life. So on that note, let's go ahead and allow ourselves to tap into this energy. And also the other thing was the main thing we talked about in the beginning is the Mercury there with Pluto in Capricorn. So gathering the information we need about this dissolution, this breakdown, seeing things in a whole new way, just a radical shift in our belief systems. And so we can tap into the messages that are available. Whenever Mercury turns direct, it's like bam, bam, bam. Okay, now that starts to make sense. I was really confused about that. It's bringing us information in our daily life. But in this case, with Pluto, it's about this massive generational breakdown change that we're trying to make around our inner and outer authority. So Leo is the lion. It's the leader of the pack. It's the one in charge. And so it's a cool energy around harnessing our inner authority and being comfortable with shining our light, being comfortable with saying, yeah, I have a right to really living. Actually, that's what I'm supposed to do here. I'm not going to let anything get in my way. I'm going to grab onto this juicy life, this existence, this creative energy, and I'm going to let that flow through in my own unique, individual, beautiful way. So let's just have a short activation here and just tap into this energy. If you want to go ahead and get comfortable and take a few deep breaths, allow yourself to be in present time, just absolutely and completely in your body, in the room that you're in, just coming out of the past or the future, and just arriving absolutely and completely in the now. There's nothing to do. Notice how your breathing is just happening naturally, all on its own. Just moving into that passive, expansive space that is the basis of our consciousness. Just leaving behind all cares and worries and concerns and all the thoughts that have come up through all this talking. Just coming into this now moment. Bring your attention to the area of the heart. And just feel this heart-opening Leo energy, and imagine you can connect your heart to Mother Earth's heart. Just feel yourself rooted deep through your spine, all the way to the base of your spine, deep into the earth. And imagine breathing, and your heartbeat and your breathing are coming into resonance with Mother Earth. And go ahead and imagine the area of your crown chakra. For the Leo full moon, working with the crown chakra as well as the heart chakra. The crown chakra, just imagine as if you were wearing a crown. So it's just above your head. Imagining a vortex there. The crown is beginning to move and spin and activate. This is how we access our higher creative energies. So imagine this golden crown, the king, the lion that you are when you're connected to your highest self, with your antenna that go up to your own source, no other information, no programming, no mediums, no angels, just you and your highest part of yourself. And just imagine that you're tuning in with this golden crown to the frequency that is you, to the gift of the individuality that is you, that relates to the way you would like to bring creation energy to planet Earth. And just go ahead and feel this crown chakra activation as you receive any images or information that might be helpful in understanding your own unique way of expressing the divine creation. Go ahead and think of what your absolute favorite thing to spend your time doing is. Something about this has to do with the way you want to express yourself in this world. And what was your favorite thing to do as a child? What's your favorite activity as an elementary school age child? What did you think you wanted to do with your life then? How does that fit in to this creative expression of your individuality? And go ahead and just let these things that come to mind that you really enjoy doing, that make you feel alive, just let them float around in this crown chakra, this vortex. This activation is kind of grinding, the gears are opening and things are starting to move, and just let these things kind of float around, tossing around these different ideas. Why? What is it about these things that makes you feel alive? If you had no concerns of money or time, what would you want to do? These are important factors in that life that you desire, and which your higher self desires, and which is your own unique individual gift to the cosmic evolution that you bring to the planet right here, right now, in this lifetime on planet Earth. And just take a few deep breaths, feeling that energy, receive this energy wave. Part of the key to our existence right now, and very much the antidote to a lot of the heavier feelings that people are trying to release, is coming into contact with this knowing inside of you that you are here for a specific expression that's different from anybody else's. The lens that the creation energy wants to work through in you. And just go ahead and receive any colors or pictures or information as these things swirl in your crown chakra, tossed around, juggling, as you just kind of entertain these aspects, activities, or situations that make you feel alive, your absolute favorite things to do. And so just receiving that energy wave that is about activating into your unique way of expressing that is such a gift to this world. And go ahead and paying attention to the area of your heart, letting that swell with this feeling. We're going to one by one bring these beautiful energies of creation energy that are unique to you down into your heart, anchoring these into a confident base to move through the world. This is not about what other people think or react or feel about what you're doing or with the way you want to express. It has nothing to do with your own experience, with your own vibration. It is of no concern to you and has nothing to do with the point of what you're doing, or what other people think. And so bring these aspirations, these dreams, these passions into your heart and let your heart just swell and open and become full. With Mars and Scorpio and the sun or the moon in Leo, we have a powerful combination for expressing our passion, letting our heart open in gratitude for this creative energy, for the magic of the universe, for what's possible in our lives. Just go ahead and let your heart expand into this energy as you allow your new crown, activated crown chakra, to communicate with your overflowing heart. So we're connecting your desire to connect and serve with the unique things about you that bring you, activate your passion and bring you joy. So although these are the design of this exercise is to help realize how these are a gift to the world, but they're not a gift because people recognize that gift or because they react to the gift or they have any effect from the gift. That has nothing to do with your gift. So just go out and throw away all the parts of yourself that have been conditioned to think it's not possible to live that life, to think that you're not talented enough to express it. Nobody wants to hear it. Just throw all that out. Go ahead and find a vacuum. Just imagine you have a little vacuum, and you can just vacuum up all of these negative thoughts and beliefs that start to come up as you activate your heart and your crown together and deeply ground this energy into the root and into Mother Earth too. You're making a commitment to your heart and to Mother Earth that you want to live and bring this creation energy home to roost in your life. Just go ahead and let that beautiful energy move through your heart chakra, expanding and swelling the whole area of your heart as you feel yourself, your consciousness pulled into the heart. Just allow yourself to move into that energy of expansive fire, and you're walking down the hall. You're being pulled into the chambers of the heart, deeper and deeper in this tunnel, in this toroidal field, and just allow yourself to enter the heart. Almost like there is a conveyor belt or a suction in this vortex tube, just pulling you in, pulling you along, moving into that toroidal field, into the center, deeper and deeper down the wormhole, into the tunnel. And just go ahead and allow yourself to come into the heart, deeper and deeper, using the physical heart as a portal. I'd like you to imagine another lifetime or existence or a time in this life where you were on fire about one of these things that came forward, one aspect or part of the way you'd like to express yourself. And go ahead and receive an energy wave to reset back to that timeline, that place on your timeline where you felt this energy of being on fire about your project, and all the other issues just kind of fall away. Not so important, not so distracting, not so dramatic, because you are your own source. And feel the self-love that flows through you when you're activated into that creative energy. This is the key, the antidote to all modern problems of anxiety and depression. When we're not feeling like we're using our gifts, when we feel like our life doesn't have meaning or purpose, or that we're not doing what we really want to do here. And just taking a few deep breaths, moving into this portal, into this dimensional gateway. Just visiting these different places on your timeline where you felt on fire. You don't even have to know exactly what it is, or this lifetime or other lifetimes or other dimensions. Just go ahead and let that feeling reset cell by cell your permission to access your own unique creative energy. Feeling your heart lift and lighten as you go deeper and deeper into the heart. Into the center of you. And just breathing that light, this golden light of the spark of the sun, of the glint of the sun off the lion's mane, throughout your whole being, cell by cell, sending the message that you have now given yourself permission again to truly live. And go ahead and look through into the future and feel what that feels like. Notice what you notice and receive any information or images that might be helpful in reorienting your present state, your present place, your present timeline towards that ultimate future of being absolutely satisfied in living a creative life. In alignment where things start, the universe reaches up to meet you. Things fall into place for you to do your best work here. Just go ahead and feel that energetic support, a new level of energetic support that's available to you from the shifting energies on the planet, and just receive that energetic wave to support those energies, harmonize the shifting, and allow you to feel held by the universe. And just taking a few deep breaths, feeling into this beautiful future, cell by cell. What do you need to know about this place that you really want to head? Go ahead and receive from your highest guidance, the higher part of you, your seventh dimensional self. What does it look like, feel like? Go ahead and let your whole body reset to this vibration and receive the information or the items, the symbols that you need right now to help you understand, to tune in and allow yourself to be guided on your most appropriate path. Just feel yourself floating there in the chamber of the heart, moving into still point, to the very center of you, where everything else just falls away. Just allow yourself to be in that place of still point where there is no polarity, just at the very center, moving deeper into the heart. Feel this energetic activation happening throughout your whole being, golden light from cell to cell with these messages. Just taking a few deep breaths as you begin your journey home, but just taking your time, allowing yourself to stay in that still point, that peace, as long as it's comfortable, as long as you'd like to. But go ahead and begin your journey if you're ready, back to your body, back to your everyday reality, bringing with you this deep level of peace, trust, and understanding in this whole crazy adventure that we're in. Just carry that in your heart, this heart-centered consciousness of the bigger picture and the trust in that higher part of you, the highest information and guidance. So just bringing this in your heart, your deep groundedness, your crown chakra activation. Just go ahead and bring those things with you into your waking reality. Just taking your time, coming back into your room, your awareness, your body. Taking a deep breath, feeling that expansiveness, just filling air, light, and prana, just filling your whole energetic field. Just take a few deep breaths of prana and feel how different it is since this activation, since making room for this light in your life, and just breathe it in. So going ahead and completing your journey, as you're ready, just go ahead and return to your room, to your body. to your waking consciousness, bringing with you this peace, this crown chakra, heart chakra activation, root chakra, joining these energies together in harmony as a commitment to make room in your life for this truth of your own unique creative expression. Just go ahead and becoming aware of your fingers and your toes, your body, taking a few deep breaths, just coming into your everyday awareness, into the room. Go ahead and open your eyes. When you're ready, come out of meditation. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this full moon in Leo activation. Powerful heart chakra energy and crown chakra energy. Drink lots of water to help harmonize those energies, because that's quite a shift from where we started the call. And so thank you so much for joining me, and this gift for the collective as we all set our course to become more in alignment with the truth of who we are and where we're really headed as a species on planet Earth. So blessings on your journey, and I look forward to next time. I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.